It's Florida, but we still get cold weather here, so we got to run some power over to the well to make sure it doesn't freeze. But speaking of cold weather and storms, we just did a survey of the property after a bunch of tornadoes ripped through our area of Florida. I'll let Deb talk about it as I start to put out these extension cords.
As Brad said, we do get cold weather, we do get bad weather, but not just in the summertime, which we're prepped for in the summertime. We're not prepped for massive tornadoes in January, and that's what we got this year. Unfortunately, our surrounding areas and our town, especially Panama City and Panama City Beach, took a hit from several tornadoes that touched down. Some of them more severe than others, but there's a lot of devastation.
The line is right over there, right on the other side of the bayou. We haven't lost power yet, but we might. See how fast the clouds are going by. There it comes. The edge of the storm right there. It's our current condition. It's blowing through. Debris in the air. Is that a bird? Oh, there's debris.
And so we didn't know what to expect when we came to the property. Luckily, everything's standing, everything's good. We had some trees down, but nothing that fell and hurt anything, right? So yeah, when we first came on the property, we had a small pine tree that was twisted and broke over, but luckily didn't hit the fence line. But all in all, we went around the whole property. We checked all the new fencing we've put up over the last couple of years. All that was clear. The food plot was clear. There's trash and debris that I think we can just chop up with our brush hog. But as far as damage that needs to be fixed, we're very fortunate to have escaped any kind of damage. One thing we were worried about is we just had our pole barn enclosed, and it's insured, but it was very expensive to enclose that pole barn and put in the roll-up door, and we were so happy when we came on the property that that wasn't blown out. So that gives us a lot of confidence going forward that our structures can withstand a lot of high winds, because we're used to hurricanes, but tornadoes are a whole nother scary thing. One thing I wanted to mention, that as I was walking up the hill to meet up with Deb as she was walking around the property, is I found a pecan on the ground right up here by our well. And there are no pecan trees. Like, our neighbor has 20 acres as well, and he doesn't have any pecan trees. I don't think the next 20 acres over does either. So that pecan was probably suspended in some high winds, because there was some tornado damage just down the road here and somehow ended up on our farm. So weather is wild, nature is wild, but we're gonna get this protected for the freeze next week, and then we're gonna do some tractoring later in the video. Over to you, Deb. well, first thing I would like to say is pecan or pecan? Because he's saying pecan and I'm thinking, that's a can of peas, pecan. But yes, I did a survey of the property. Everything looks really good. Now, the couple interesting things I did see on, he's telling me what to talk about. Does your husband tell you what to talk about? So a couple interesting things I did see on the west side fencing was a mangled screen. And again, the structures all on our road are fine. So there's a mangled screen that was dropped from somewhere, and a piece of mangled metal. So again, everything looks fine, our neighbors and ours. So there was something that went over, and the folks lost power for 2 days. They just got power back late yesterday. So we had damage, but we were, once again, we were fortunate, we were blessed. So we're gonna protect the well, and then we're gonna tractor.
Deb just loves it when I holler across the pasture and tell her what to say in front of the camera. It's probably one of her favorite things that I do. But when we had this built, and we have a video on getting this built on this, where our actual pressure tank is, but I also had the electrician put in this outdoor box, because last year when it froze, Deb and I had to come up here like around Christmas time frame. It got 17 degrees and everything froze. We don't want that to happen again, so this should be quick and easy. Plug into there. I've already got a heat lamp up by the well, and Deb's going to capture this as I do it.
He's gonna unfold an extension cord. We don't want you to miss anything. Yep, there he is, unfolding his extension cord.
So it's a 100-foot cord. I'm gonna do it all in one thing. We won't have to cover up the connecting two cords together. All right, we're in the well house. We got some electricity with a LED light, and all I'm gonna do here is just plug in this heat lamp, turn it on, except it didn't come on. I don't know why it didn't come on. We obviously have power in here, because the light came on and it's all on the same circuit. So maybe that bulb is burned out. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a bulb right there on the pressure switch. And the rest of the pipes we covered with pool noodles last year, and they're gonna be fine. All right, I got a work light. I know this works because I checked it at home. Let me plug it in. All right, our power is good. Looks like a simple light bulb fix.
Shocking, I say. Shocking it's going to be easy.
I hope it's not shocking.
No, it's shock.
You're so punny. LED bulbs don't put off a lot of heat or any heat, and a lot of farmers used to use regular incandescent bulbs to keep chickens and stuff warm. So that's what we did growing up. But now it's really hard to find a bulb that gets warm. And we said last year we were going to stock up on some when everything froze, and here it is a year later. We didn't stock up on anything. There we go. All right, we're going to set this right here, just clamped right here. We're only going to be down in the 20s. That'll be enough to keep this switch from freezing, and that's what froze last year and wouldn't allow the pump to pump water to the house. Well, we had this outdoor box put in, and it actually has a nice little cutout here for your cord, but it really should have been mounted that way. I guess we'll put a piece of plastic over that just so water doesn't go in there. Let's go see if we have power on the other end. This is the actual well, and then the pressure tanks down the hill there. We had to drill 3 wells on the property. It was very traumatic. It's all documented in our videos, but this is the actual well that gives us water at Piney Grove. And I came up here and built this out of scrap wood for a temporary fix. And something that an old lieutenant colonel in the Air Force told me is, basically asked me a question: when does a temporary fix become permanent? I don't know, sir. When does a temporary fix become permanent? He said, when it fixes the problem. And that's exactly right. When you do something temporary and it fixes the problem, you tend not to come back and do it right. So this thing is all temporary right now just to protect the well till we live on the property. We're eventually going to pour some concrete around this well and build a little well house, but it'll be a real short well house because we want to be able to take off the roof in case this well ever needs to be serviced. And yes, these towels have been in here since last year, and they don't smell fresh at all. So what we're trying to do is just keep the temperature inside of this little, let's call it a greenhouse, because there's a check valve back underneath this orange pool noodle, and we're going to put some towels on top of that and insulate it more.
Keep the towels where they're nowhere near the light bulb.
Yeah, it didn't burn last year. That looks brown, but that almost looks like paint, doesn't it?
Well, it does look like paint, but why would there be paint there?
I don't know. Maybe it got discolored from the sun.
But it was covered.
I don't know. Deb? Maybe you should check with the electrician. So in the comments down below, ask Deb why this is maybe not exactly the way I built it. Here, let me grab the camera and let's see what she has to say. So Deb, why is that a little messed up there on the bottom? What possibly could have happened?
I don't know, but it might have something to do with a woman on a zero turn. I'm not sure. Possibly. I'm neither confirming or denying.
I'm gonna confirm. She hit my beautiful structure here with her Kubota zero turn.
I didn't hit it per se. I may have grazed it or clipped it, but I didn't like hit it. I mean, you can see it.
She's a little out of control with the zero turn. On the corner of the building over there, which we call our mega shed, you can see the trim is messed up a little bit there. I'll get you a closer B-roll of that. And you see the look on her face. She's gonna deny it, but I'm telling you, I didn't do it.
That wasn't me.
She did it.
That wasn't me. I don't think that one was me. I own this, and I'll even own maybe a sign on the other side of the driveway, but I'm not owning that one. I'm not doing it. I'm blaming him.
The girl's a maniac on a zero turn. Don't let her fool you. She has, she's not really big into farm equipment, didn't grow up on a farm, but we've been getting her on equipment a lot here. And she's turned into, what is it, speed racer on that little zero turn.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-doo-dah, it is fun. Of course, Spunky's been in the shed now for a couple months.
Don't worry, it's Florida. We'll be cutting grass before you know it. All right, the well is protected. The pressure tank is protected. Let's go do some tractoring, Deb.
Ooh, okay.